September 11th, 2001. 8:46 a.m. American Airlines Flight 11 struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The call went out immediately. All available units respond. Firefighter Tommy Sullivan, everyone called him Tommy, was 32 years old. FDNY Ladder Company 3. He'd been a firefighter for 8 years, loved his job, loved his city, had a wife, Sarah, and a 3-year-old daughter, Emma. When the call came through, Tommy was at the firehouse on East 13th Street in Manhattan, 2 miles from the towers. His captain looked at the men. "This is it. This is the big one. Stay together. Stay smart. Come home." Tommy looked at a photo taped inside his locker. His daughter, Emma, smiling. He kissed 2 fingers, touched the photo, and closed the locker door. Then Ladder 3 raced toward the towers. Tommy Sullivan had 17 minutes left to live. At least, that's what everyone thought. The scene at the World Trade Center was chaos. Smoke billowing from the tower, glass and debris raining down, people screaming, running. And the firefighters? They were running in. Tommy's company reached the North Tower at 9:03 a.m., the same moment the South Tower was hit. 2 planes, 2 towers, thousands trapped inside. The captain gave orders. "We go up. Find people. Get them out. Move fast." Tommy and 5 other firefighters entered the North Tower. They began climbing. Stairs packed with people evacuating, descending, panicking. Every person going down said the same thing. "Turn around. Get out. It's hell up there." The firefighters kept climbing, floor after floor, 60 pounds of gear on their backs, smoke getting thicker, heat intensifying. By the time they reached the 40th floor, Tommy's legs were burning. His lungs screamed for air. His radio crackled. "Dispatch. All units. South Tower has collapsed. I repeat, South Tower has collapsed." The firefighters froze, looked at each other. If the South Tower fell, the North Tower could too. Tommy's captain made the call. "We evacuate. Now. Everyone down. Help whoever you can on the way, but we're getting out." They turned around, started descending, helping injured people, carrying those who couldn't walk. They reached the 78th floor. That's when Tommy heard it. A voice on the radio. Faint. Breaking up. "This is floor 78. Sky lobby. We're trapped. Can't. Stairs blocked. Smoke everywhere. Please." Tommy stopped. "Captain, there's people up here. 78th floor." The captain grabbed his arm. "Tommy, the tower's gonna come down. We have seconds. We need to go now." "How many people?" Tommy asked into the radio. Static. Then, 20. Maybe 22. "Can't breathe." Tommy looked at his captain. "I can get them." "Tommy, you'll die." "Then I die. I'm not leaving them." The other firefighters stared at him. One said, "Tommy, think about Emma, your daughter. You go up there. You're not coming home." Tommy's voice cracked. "If I leave them, I'm not the man I want Emma to think I am." He turned to his captain. "Get everyone else out. I'm going to 78. The captain grabbed his shoulder. "Tommy!" "That's an order I'm disobeying, sir." Tommy tried to smile. "Fire me later." He adjusted his oxygen mask, turned, and climbed, alone. His captain watched him disappear into the smoke, and later said, "I knew I'd never see him again, and I knew he knew it too." Floor 78, the Sky Lobby. Normally a beautiful space, with windows overlooking Manhattan. Now it was hell. Smoke so thick Tommy couldn't see 3 feet ahead. Heat so intense his gear was melting. Ceiling tiles collapsing, walls cracking. "FDNY, where are you?" Voices, weak, desperate. "Here, over here." Tommy followed the sounds, found them huddled in a corner. 22 people, office workers, executives in suits, secretaries, interns, an elderly man, at least 70, a pregnant woman, maybe 7 months along. They were terrified. Tommy knelt down. "Listen to me. My name is Tommy. I'm getting you out. All of you. But you need to do exactly what I say. Can you do that?" They nodded. "We stay together. You follow my voice. If you can't see, hold the person in front of you. If someone falls, we pick them up. Nobody gets left behind. Understand? The stairs are blocked, someone said. We tried. We can't. Then we find another way. Tommy checked his options. Main stairwell collapsed. Secondary stairwell engulfed in flames. There was one option, a service stairwell, narrow, rarely used. It would take them down through the core of the building. This way, move! He led them, step by step, floor by floor. The elderly man collapsed on the 65th floor. Tommy picked him up, carried him on his back. The pregnant woman couldn't breathe. Tommy gave her his oxygen mask, breathed smoke instead. The building shook violently, walls cracking, steel groaning. Floor 50, floor 40, floor 30. Tommy's radio. All units evacuate immediately. North Tower is coming down. You have less than 2 minutes. They reached the 15th floor. That's when Tommy heard it. A sound he'd never forget. The entire building was screaming, steel twisting, concrete cracking. A roar like the earth splitting open. The North Tower was collapsing. 110 stories. 250,000 tons of steel and concrete coming down, and they were inside. Tommy saw a doorway, interior stairwell, reinforced concrete. It was a long shot. Maybe it would hold, maybe not. In here, now, everyone inside. He shoved all 22 people into the small space, crammed them together. Then he positioned himself in the doorway, blocking it, his body between them and the collapsing building. He spread his arms wide, braced himself against the doorframe. One of the office workers shouted, "What are you doing?" Tommy looked back at them. Keeping a promise. The pregnant woman understood. "Please, no, you have a daughter." "So do you." Tommy smiled. "Tell Emma. Tell her Daddy was thinking about her." The building came down. Tommy Sullivan's last thought was of his 3-year-old daughter. Everything went black. Silence, dust, and darkness. For 3 days, Ground Zero was searched. Thousands of rescue workers digging through rubble, looking for survivors. The official count was devastating. 2,977 people killed. 343 firefighters among them. Ladder Company 3 reported 5 men lost, including firefighter Tommy Sullivan. His wife, Sarah, was notified. Widowed at 29. His daughter, Emma, age 3, would grow up without a father. A funeral was held. An empty casket, because no body was found. Sarah stood at the memorial with Emma in her arms. Her daughter asked, "Where's Daddy?" Sarah didn't know how to answer. September 14th, 72 hours after the collapse. Rescue workers in Sector 7 detected something. A faint sound, rhythmic, like tapping. They stopped all equipment, listened. There it was again. Tap, tap, tap. Someone was alive down there. They dug, carefully, hours of work, moving concrete slabs, cutting through twisted steel. Finally, they broke through. Found a pocket, a void, created by a reinforced stairwell section that had somehow, impossibly, held during the collapse. The lead rescuer shined his flashlight inside. There were people, covered in dust, injured, but alive. He counted 22 civilians, and in the center of the pocket, collapsed on the floor, barely breathing, a firefighter. His turnout coat spread over as many people as he could reach. He had positioned himself to absorb the impact. His body had taken the worst of the debris. They pulled him out. His back was broken, ribs shattered, internal bleeding. He'd been unconscious for 3 days. One of the paramedics checked his badge. "Oh my God, it's Sullivan, Tommy Sullivan, Ladder 3. The paramedic looked at the lieutenant. "Sir, we declared him dead. We had a funeral." "Well, cancel it. He's alive." Tommy Sullivan spent 8 months in the hospital. 3 spinal surgeries, 14 broken bones, collapsed lung. He would walk with a limp for the rest of his life. Chronic pain, every day. But he was alive. And so were the 22 people he'd shielded with his body. When Tommy finally woke up, the first thing he asked was, "Did they make it?" The doctor smiled. "All of them. Because of you. Tommy closed his eyes. Good. Sarah and Emma came to see him. Emma, now 3.5, climbed onto his hospital bed carefully. Daddy, you were sleeping a long time. Tommy held his daughter. I'm sorry, baby. Daddy had to help some people. Emma touched his face. Did you save them? Yeah, I did. Mommy said you're a hero. Tommy shook his head. I'm just a firefighter, sweetheart. That's my job. Here's what most people don't know. Those 22 people Tommy saved, 3 of them had injuries that left them paralyzed by the debris. They walked again after surgery. The pregnant woman gave birth to a healthy baby girl 2 months later. She named her Thomasina. The elderly man, age 78, lived another 18 years. He died peacefully in 2019, surrounded by grandchildren. 6 of the survivors were parents. Which means Tommy's decision to go back saved 19 children from losing their parents that day. When you count the families, spouses, children, parents, Tommy Sullivan's choice to climb those stairs saved approximately 200 lives. Not just the 22 in the tower, 200 people whose lives were changed because one firefighter said, I'm not leaving them. Here's what most people don't know. Those 22 people Tommy saved, 3 of them had injuries that left them paralyzed by the debris. They walked again after surgery. The pregnant woman gave birth to a healthy baby girl 2 months later. She named her Thomasina. The elderly man, age 78, lived another 18 years. He died peacefully in 2019, surrounded by grandchildren. 6 of the survivors were parents, which means Tommy's decision to go back saved 19 children from losing their parents that day. When you count the families, spouses, children, parents, Tommy Sullivan's choice to climb those stairs saved approximately 200 lives. Not just the 22 in the tower. 200 people whose lives were changed because one firefighter said, I'm not leaving them. Every September 11th, something happens at Tommy Sullivan's house in Brooklyn. The 22 survivors come. All of them. They bring their families. Thomasina, the baby born 2 months after 9/11, is now 23 years old. She's in medical school, wants to be an ER doctor. To save lives like Tommy saved mine before I was even born. The elderly man's grandchildren come. They've never met the man who saved their grandfather, but they come to say thank you. The 6 parents bring their 19 children. Some of those children now have children of their own. The gathering has grown. 60, 70 people, packed into Tommy's backyard. They call it the Sullivan Family Reunion. Tommy, now 55, walks with a cane. His back still hurts every day. He can't fight fires anymore. He's a fire safety instructor now, teaching the next generation. When reporters ask him about September 11th, he always says the same thing. I was just doing my job. Any firefighter would have done the same. But one of the survivors, a man named Michael Chen, who was 34 years old that day, said this, No, Tommy, any firefighter would have evacuated when ordered. You chose to disobey. You chose to climb when everyone else descended. You chose to die so we could live. That's not a job. That's not duty. That's love. And we carry that love forward every single day. Tommy's daughter, Emma, is now 26. She became a firefighter, just like her dad. She says, growing up, I knew my father was a hero, but I didn't understand what that meant until I became a firefighter myself. Now I understand. He didn't save 22 people that day. He saved 200. And he taught all of us what it means to run toward danger when everyone else runs away. Thomas Sullivan continues to live in Brooklyn with his wife, Sarah. He teaches fire safety at the FDNY Training Academy. The 22 survivors he saved gather at his home every September 11th. The event has grown to include over 70 family members. Thomasina Chen graduated medical school in 2023. She's now an ER resident, saving lives just like Tommy saved hers. Emma Sullivan serves with FDNY Ladder Company 176. When asked why she became a firefighter, she says, "Because my dad showed me that the best way to live is to be willing to give your life for others." Tommy Sullivan was medically retired in 2003. He received the FDNY Medal of Valor. When asked about his actions on September 11th, he says, "I had 17 minutes to make a choice. Go down and live, or go up and maybe die. I went up because I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. Those people needed a firefighter, and I was there." 343 firefighters died on September 11th, 2001. Tommy Sullivan almost became the 344th. Instead, he became living proof of what those 343 gave their lives for. The belief that some people are worth dying for. And that's not just valor. That's love.